started out with my loop here. Did 2 and 3, and now I'm going to start going in a circle. Make 3 loops inside a circle. Want to cut the little end off or just pull it in like I did. Always try to grab. I'm going to do a video to show you guys how to crochet. I learned how to crochet when I was probably like 8 or 7. I think I was maybe 8. Yeah, probably 8. My aunt that lives in Indiana, we lived in the country. We were like country bumpkins, and she said, "You girls are going to learn how to do something. You're not going to sit down here and not know how to do anything." So she taught us how to crochet. And I thank her for that. Because when I first became a mom, I did not have a lot of money. And I really couldn't afford decent gloves or scarves for my son at the time. Not even at the thrift store. So my mom would go to the thrift store and she would find yarn and stuff. And since I knew how to crochet, I would take the yarn and I would make his gloves, make his hats, make his scarves. And the thing about making his gloves, I was able to make gloves that had the string going around, so I can put it through his coat. So that way, I put, through his both sleeves, so that way when he took his gloves off, he didn't lose them. You know how kids lose gloves? I would make the glove, then I would make an extension to go through the arms of his coat and around his back, and that way when I took his coat off, his gloves were still there, because you know how kids pull the gloves off, drop them, and lose them. So my son never lost a pair of gloves when he was small. Like 1 and 2, I made all his gloves. When he turned 2, the terrible 2s, I never had to worry about losing gloves, his mittens. I made mittens, not finger gloves, but mittens, because he always had them. And then, I know they sold these little things that you can clip them to the coat, but sometimes the kids would still pull them off the coat. But only thing about that, you have to make sure you're taking his coat off and it stays in the coat, because you don't want him to get tangled up in that. So, or you can even do a little stitch and sew it to the inside of the coat, and just leave enough string down so you can take the gloves off and put them on, but they'll stay attached in the coat. And I made footies for him to keep his feet warm, and it got to a point where I just didn't buy a lot of store-bought stuff when he was like 1 and 2, because I made everything. When he was 1, I made his little hand mittens and everything. So, see how it's coming out? I'm going to make one and I'm going to show you. And instead of having to go and order more foam to go on your headset, just make another one. Because a lot of times, little foam pieces that's on the headset, they come off, and it's almost, for some reason, impossible to get it back on correctly. This is no turntable. Okay, let me move a little faster here. If I can crochet faster, I'm just talking and not paying attention. You don't want it to start curling up yet, so what you do is you go under instead of just using the same top one. That way it stays straight. You can go up, over and under, or you can just do a few under and then go over to keep it from turning into a little ball. Because you want it to stay flat until it's time to make the part that does go over the earpiece. Make sure you stop and measure it, as you can see in this part way here. Feel like it's getting a little tight. Make an extra loop to give yourself a little room so it doesn't start curling yet. You don't want it to start curling until it's time to you make the circumference of the earpiece. So you have to stop and do like an extra loop, make that one a little tight because you're not going to put anything in it. It's just for the length. It doesn't start curling. And also, my mom took us to the 4-H club when we were young, and I learned how to sew. And kudos to you, Mom, for that one. When we were little, we didn't live with her, but she would get us every weekend. And every weekend, she had an adventure for us, you know. Every weekend we went to the library, and after we leave the library, we would go to the 4-H club. If we weren't there, we were visiting relatives, and every weekend was like the greatest weekend with my mom. We were growing up. Let's see, almost done. So, I can do about 2 more go arounds before we start doing the part that's going to actually go around the earpiece. Okay. I want to try to keep it flat. You see, it's almost turning into like a little hat, and that's not what you want. Okay. Like maybe every 3 loops, you make an extra loop. Like 1. Then the 3rd extra loop, and then 1 and 2, the 3rd extra loop, it's starting to make like a little hat now. See, that's okay. almost. Now I need to do it just enough to cover around here, which would be probably about 3 more rolls, and then I can just pull it on the wall. Oh, let me yarn feel. This was just something I thought to do. I didn't make a pattern, or it was just in my head on how to figure this out. I needed something to cover the earpiece. Yeah, that noise is my computer. It's stuck on the fan for some reason. Hopefully I can get that fixed soon. I was reading up on it. It was just saying that the motherboard may be dusty, or it's dust on the inside, and that's why the fan is staying on. Okay? It's almost ready for me to 2 more rows, and then I can start making them smaller to fit around the sides. I have a knot. No. No, 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 not a knot, not a knot. This is like the end of, it was like a really, really big bundle. Now I am tangling it up. No. I don't know why I'm up at 4 in the morning crocheting, but I am. Okay. That should cover the earpiece. See? Oh, tangled, tangled. Yes, there you go. Now I'm going to do the part that closes around it. Yeah, I know all you crochet people that right here I should have spread out so it can be flatter, but it's okay. It'll be flat. This will be like in my ear and it'll push it in. Be okay. Just something I thought to do instead of trying to to order some foam to go over the headpiece. Let's do it this way. Because the other ones that broke, not only they break, I can barely hear out of them now. They were like $5 at, I think, Family Dollar. Those, for me, they didn't last long. Of course, they didn't last long on my big water yet, so that's another story. Okay, I think it's time to start tightening it. and making it go around the back here. One more loop. And I can start making them smaller. Now you can see that it can fit around. And it's like 2 over the sides. Now I'm going to start closing it off. I'm going to start skipping one at a time. Or every other one. Skip every other one. Do 2. Skip. 2. Skip. 2. Skip. And 2. And skip. Yeah, it made like a little hat here. Let's see if it can fit. It's almost there. See? Now all I gotta do is just go ahead and skip 1. As you can see. Yeah, it looks like a little hat. But it's a little hat for the earpiece. I'm gonna skip 1 and go to the next. Oops. Making it tighter. Hopefully it'll fit. Okay. Looks like a little hat. That's nothing. I don't want to get it too tight. I'm going to try it on. See? It's fitting just like a little hat. There we go. Hey. You want to make it kind of, you know, where you can take it on and off. You don't want it so tight where you can't take it on and off. Now you want to make the edges tight. You're going to go through 1, but you're going to tighten them a little tighter, like this. See? You're going to use every loop, but like I said, you're going to make it just a little tighter. I think that'll do it. Yeah, it's like a little hat. And it should fit great. I don't think I need to add any more. And one thing about this, you don't have to worry about it popping off. Because you know how you, I have got replacement earpieces for smaller pieces, like a wireless one, and they just pop right back off, and it's just frustrating. Make your own. You can crochet or knit. There you go. See that? It lays flat. See, this is the side without one. This little part is still here, and it'll protect that. Scissors and cut it. Oh, my little desk is falling. No. Okay. I knew I should have had better lighting on this so you guys can really see it. I'm hoping you can see this. It's great, right? Pull it through the last knot here. Tighten it up. Oops. Instead of just cutting it off, you might want to just crochet the little part in and then tie it again. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? It's a little bit easy to take it out. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to do it on the earpiece. I said I need to go to sleep. Need to go to sleep. Okay. Make another knot. Still, just keep pulling it through, get rid of it. Okay, then I'll just cut it off, the excess right here. Now I'm put this one on. I'll make another one for the other side. There you go. Replacement padding for your earpiece. You can do this with larger ones. See? You can make more, you can change them out, you can wash them, you know, a little soap and water, and clean them up. See that, guys? See that? Hey! You can use different yarns. You can buy a softer yarn, so it's softer to your ear. You can buy sensitive yarn for people with sensitive skin, you know, and you can do whatever color you like. Thank you guys for watching my video. Please subscribe, like, and ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding.